Yes, yes, yes. It's time to move on back onto the NFL before we come back to the NBA. And we got to talk about these lines because why y'all lying? Okay, let's talk about these lines right now as they won against the Jets yesterday. And the question goes like this: will the Lions make the playoffs? And should they retain Jared Goff in 23? Because of the mic is yours.
Oh man, this is tough. But I think the way they're trending, I would love to see them make the playoffs from a schedule perspective. I don't know, right? So I know that's an incomplete. But if I had to throw it in there, I'm gonna say no, they're not gonna make the playoffs. But this team, I think they won what 6 games in a row. If I'm not mistaken, I think they won 6 games in a row.
Something like that. Yup, it's the
Um,
streak.
this team is on. They on top, man. They looking good. Jared Goff is definitely a starting quarterback in this league. He is right now at least a top 15 quarterback in this league. I think we can at least say that. He for this year, he's a top 15 quarterback in the league. The Lions offense is playing well. The defense is stepping up. Is they a scary team? If they did make the playoffs, if they do rather make the playoffs, they'll be a scary team. And I don't think nobody want to play them because they could score with the best of them. But I just don't know if they're going to be able to make the playoffs. I mean, if they win out and they make the playoffs, who really want to play the Lions? Seriously, if they win out, who really want to play this team? That team would be names. I don't see them winning out. I don't believe, and trust me, I think they're playing well. I don't believe in the Lions that well. I don't believe in Jared Goff like that, but they are playing well. Now, should the Lions retain Jared Goff? Absolutely. Okay, you know what I mean? Like clear. I think they winning. Listen, the Rams did get a Super Bowl, so let's be clear. They got Matthew Stafford. They got a Super Bowl, but Matthew Stafford is not even playing right now. Jared Goff is balling. Jared Goff got more years left, and I think he can still get a little better. He's still young. I mean, the man is not old. He ain't even in his prime yet. And clearly, he don't got the strongest of arms, but the man is pretty accurate. He's been taking care of the ball. I think he's up to like 23 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. Um, I think his QBR is about 65. The man is playing football at the highest of levels. So, yeah, he earning a contract. That's fair to say. You can't say right now, you're going to get somebody in the draft where the position in the Lions is going to be and to be able to take his job, right? There's nobody in the free agency that's going to come in and take his job. So clearly, if you got a top 15 quarterback in your house, okay, the league is only 32 teams. That's more than half of the teams. Guess what? You got to keep this guy. Build around this guy. Draft around this guy, put some more talent around this guy, defensively, offensively, and maybe the Lions can make a real run at it next year and start off this season the way they finished this season, and they on fire.
I'm going to respectfully disagree on both of what you said about them making the playoffs and about the future at quarterback as I'm choking up. So I'm going to, take this little sip of the water real quickly here before we proceed. Yes, sir. Okay. Like you would say, back to the basics. Okay. All right. So we look at their schedule right now. Panthers, Bears, and Packers. Okay. I believe they play the Packers on the road. I believe next week on the road against the Panthers, home against the Bears, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Winnable games. I can see them running the table with the way that they're playing right now. I think that would be enough to get in because Washington, I can see them losing to who they play next week, San Fran. I can see them losing that game and losing that little lead that they have over the Lions, right? I can see that at some point, them losing that lead. Like I said earlier when we started off the show, that conference is overrated. Somebody going to lose. That's going to allow the Lions to get in there, and I ain't lying. But I want to, credit the Lions for winning this game yesterday against the Jets. It was not an easy game.
Absolutely.
Okay. The Jets, they have one of the best defensive units in the league. You know what? It's crazy to me. I saw them go up against New England. The Lions I'm talking about here, they get shut out completely. 29-0. Didn't put up a point. Didn't even kick a field goal. Didn't even get a safety. Okay, how many ways you could score in the NFL? They did not do it. They had the donut by Bill Belichick. But I can argue, and stats and scores can back my argument up, that the Jets defense is better than New England. And they were still able to generate enough offense to win the game. And I would take some of the pedestrian numbers from Jared Goff if it means not turning the ball over, which he didn't do. All right, where you look at the other side of the field and you flip it, Zach Wilson showed more explosiveness throwing the ball down the field, but boneheaded plays came along with that, right? That's what I call YOLO play. Okay, you only live once. Just throw it up there. Okay, maybe it get picked. He got another one. He had one that almost was an interception. This guy made a play on it. Should have had two. But with that being said, credit to them. They won the game. I think they made the playoffs. Now, as we move to this sub topic here, talking about their future. Listen, they call me the Little Shadamas for a reason. I
Mm-mm.
came out last year and I said it on this very damn show that in 3 years, the Lions will be the face of the North. Okay. And after I said that, okay, we get into this year and everybody want to come along to the party that Lil was throwing. I get it. It happens all the time. But with that being said, if the Lions want to fulfill my prophecy that they will be that team in the North to look out for, the face of the North in the future, they got to get rid of Jared Goff. And I'm going to tell you all the reasons why. Number one, financially, I believe, as I have up here, that they can save a whole lot of money by
Correct.
getting away from him. So basically, after this season, they can save up towards 20 million. Okay, they will have a cap hit of more than 30 million next year with him on the roster. So you can save 20 million in extra cap space by getting out of the contract. And also, if you were to take a quarterback, you have more flexibility with a guy on
Right.
his rookie deal. That's financial
Correct.
reasons.
Mm-hmm.
That's number one. Number two, I remember Matthew Stafford last year on the team. They didn't know what the future was going to be like with Matthew Stafford. Okay, that last year that he played for the team, they didn't know what to do with him. Then he requested trade. He gets traded, and now they don't have a quarterback. They missed out on Justin Herbert that year. That last year, Matthew Stafford stayed on the team. They missed out on Justin Herbert. They could have flipped Matthew Stafford out of there, draft Justin Herbert, or maybe even Tua, right? And they could have got their quarterback. Don't make the same mistake. I understand that right now, Jared Goff is playing good football. I understand that. But let's not get lost in the sauce, boss. Okay? Because at the end of the day, you need to toss him. This is the perfect time to sell high. You have to know as a football team when it's a perfect time to capitalize off opportunity and sell high. They need to sell high, get rid of this guy. Congratulations. Thank you. Have a Merry Christmas. So long.
Mm-hmm.
I want my quarterback of the future because as I saw with talented rosters over the years, without that guy, without that quarterback, it meant nothing. Ask the Colts, ask the Panthers. Without that guy, it means absolutely nothing. And you will be looking for that guy for the next 5 to 7 years. So
Okay.
now that you have a pick in the top 5, you have cats like CJ Stroud. Say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. And you have other guys that you can draft with that pick. Who knows when you're going to get there? If my forecast is real, they are not picking that low for the next couple of years. So you might as well take your quarterback and go caution in the win and go win.
Okay. And the funny thing about this is you don't know how that quarterback is going to respond in the NFL. Jared Goff did take a team to a Super Bowl before. Okay, if you build a roster around him, he have shown you that he can actually win a playoff game or two. So with that being said, I'm building a roster around this dude. The man is not old. Okay, he is a legitimate starting quarterback in this league. He is better than half of the starting quarterbacks in this league. And if you throw him away in the wind, clearly, your premise of saving the 20 million makes a lot logical sense. But trying to go get that guy in the draft don't always pan out. That is a what if. Nobody knew who Justin Herbert was until Justin Herbert got into the NFL. Nobody knew who Patrick
Where?
Mahomes was until Patrick Mahomes got into the NFL.
That's why you draft.
Sometimes, but guess what? But Zach Wilson was supposed to be that guy. Okay? He was supposed to be that guy. They don't look like that guy. So you just don't know. You just don't know. You got a legitimate quarterback. You got somebody that can hold down the fort and lead a team to a Super Bowl. He's done that already. Okay? Because we don't know if Justin Herbert could do that because we never see him play a playoff game. We don't know if these other quarterbacks in college could do that because we didn't even see him play in the NFL. We know this man in the building. If we pick the talent around this man, he can take us to the promised land. Okay, we talking about the Detroit Lions. We talking about a team that won one playoff game in 60 years. Okay, so winning a playoff game to them is huge. Okay, and this is a guy in the building that led a team to a Super Bowl run. I keep this guy in the building because you never know when you're gonna go out in the grass. That's a crapshoot, bro. Now, as far as being the face of the North, I'll take the Chicago Bears and Justin Fields. He is that guy.
I mean, I'm not going to disrespect Justin Fields. I'm a fan of his game. I think he's a He might be faster than Lamar Jackson. Okay, might be.
Yo,
But at the same time, the face of the Northwestern Lions, they building something more special. They got the weapons. They are still building out that team. They're not
look,
ready to win yet. That's the thing. Even if they make the playoffs, they're not ready to
no,
win
they're
right
not ready to
now.
win.
So that's
Yeah.
why I'm saying from a long-term perspective, you get the guy, give him a couple years to develop. It's not like, all right, you draft CJ Stroud next year and you're trying to win a chip. No, I'm talking about the next 3 years. So now you have a quarterback, right, that you can develop for the next 2 years. And when you finish planning out your roster, adding to the defense, obviously the defense is probably the back
What you got? Right.
the back seat of the team. You can fill out your roster. You could always find a defensive player, but you can never always find a quarterback. Take him. Okay, take the guy. And I understand that there's a level of unknown. We don't know how these quarterbacks is going to pan out. We never know. But that's why you take the risk and you trust your system. You see, with Jared Goff, we know there's a ceiling. We know what his ceiling is. I don't know what CJ Stroud's ceiling is right now. Okay.
Right.
I know with Jared Goff, he's a conventional quarterback. Right, he's gonna make the safe throws. He's gonna, get the ball out. But I know when you need him to make a play, he probably not gonna make the play. And I understand he made the Super Bowl. But let's go to Sean McVay and his resume, his repertoire. He won a Super Bowl with Matthew Stafford, who has never won a Super Bowl prior to linking up with McVay. He won Baker Mayfield. He looked good to me. He didn't even learn the playbook, and somehow he won last week. So at the end of the day, we know Sean McVay is a quarterback god. He's a quarterback, quote unquote, guru. We need to know that Jared Goff can not sit shotgun, back seat, digging in the seam with the gains to lean, but can he lead our team to a Super Bowl and be the catalyst of that? I don't think so. And that's why you got to go and get that guy.
You know what's so crazy, cousin? Sean McVay, great, I give you that. But Jared Goff has proven that he can play without him right now before our eyes. He's proven that. He's basically saying right now, I can play football. It ain't just Sean McVay. He's proven it. So, listen, man, it could go either way, but I'm sticking with Jared Goff. And I think the Lions will do it too.
We have to see about that. But shout out to my brother, Fahim, Father God. Okay, make sure you tap into his podcast. Okay, it runs in the family. And Nobody Put Us on all streaming platforms, on YouTube, on SoundCloud, on Spotify, Apple, whatever. Make sure you lock it in. Salute to my brother. Okay, let's go next. All right, 7-game win streak. We talked about it earlier. But, my expectations is a little bit simmered down a little bit. But I'm happy to see us playing. I get to watch more Knicks basketball. Okay, so it is what it is.